In Europe, we see Central and Eastern European countries improving their performance, while Italy and other long-standing members have tended to do less well. What's dividing Europe?
You know, it's interesting, but in 2004 you had eight new members from Central and Eastern Europe joining the European Union, and some of these countries are extremely well managed. They are very serious about reforms. They are very serious about macro stability and you know, adding flexibility and you know, boosting the institutional underpinnings of their economies. Many of these countries are led by young leaders who are very dynamic and who have very sense that for them it is tremendously important to be able to compete effectively in the European Union. The performance has been somewhat uneven, by the way. You do have countries like Poland and Hungary who I think are beginning to lag behind countries like Slovenia and the Baltic states and, say, the Czech Republic. Poland and Hungary in particular seem to be having a problem you know, in the area of public finances. They're both running large budget deficits. The case of Italy is an interesting one. Italy has not done typically well in our indicators in the last few years, and this year is no exception. As you know, they fall again in the rankings. When I try to identify the 2 or 3 factors that account for the performance of Italy, certainly one of them is fiscal policy. The Italian government has been running budget deficits for the last 20 years without interruption. Not a single year in the last 2 decades have they actually had anything close to a budget balance. What does this mean? It means that debt levels are in excess of 100% of GDP, which are the highest in the world. There are serious questions about the Italian government's ability to fulfill its pension obligations 10, 15 years down the line because of the deterioration of the underlying fiscal situation. This is very important because it suggests an approach to management of the economy in general, which is not very efficient. In Italy, in particular, there are issues having to do with government transparency, with the efficiency of the judicial system, with the way in which the government in general interacts with the private sector.